So standard weight plates only go in increments of 2.5 kilograms. That is great for benches and deadlifts, but it's not great for rehab exercises like external rotations. For that you want to go up in smaller increments. I was in the market for them, and then I checked the Rogue website and I saw that Coop bought all the change plates. Like seriously, check out this video of Coop.
And then this is probably one of the most ridiculous things in all this. If you've ever, like, everybody wants change plates. Having excess change plates is so nice because you can just stack them on.
He has literally bought all the change plates and now we are left without them. That's great because the ones of Rogue that I want, the complete set, costs around 90 euros. That's why I had to do what I do best and what I love doing most is I had to go on the DIY grind and make myself some change plates. So this is a round form, that is what most plates typically look like. If you want to go square, if you want to go triangular shaped, doesn't matter, stick around and I'll show you how to do it. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to get our sheet of plywood and we need to start cutting out these big circles. I didn't have a ruler that is able to make circles, so what I did was I took a stick, I measured out 12.5 centimeters because that's the radius of this thing, and I drilled 2 holes, one for the pencil to go in to mark my circle, and the second one to put in a nail or a drill bit so that I can anchor it into the middle and draw a circle. What I then did was I already drilled the big hole here. I have an Olympic bar and also my cable pulley is made for Olympic weights. So I had to drill a hole of 50 millimeters. So the drill bit that I used was 51 millimeters. So that gives me enough wiggle room to get these plates on, and it fits pretty nice. After that, what I did was I went around with the jigsaw. So there are a couple of options that you can use. If you have a CNC router, you probably have the easiest job in the world because you just draw it out on whatever program you have and the CNC machine will cut it out for you. If you have a router like I have, you can route it out, like you put it in the center and you can put your router in a circle. But I found that pretty tedious and it took me a long time. So this one I did with the router. It looks a lot cleaner, I must say. The radius looks a lot cleaner. What you also can do is just use a jigsaw like I did for 5 of the 6 ones. And this is with a router, this is with a jigsaw. Looks pretty cool, good enough. So now that we have the circle, what I'm then going to do is I'm going to give everything a nice chamfer. The measurements that I took was, for the one of 250 grams, I had a diameter of 18 centimeters, and for the bigger ones, I got a diameter of 25 centimeters of plywood. Now, that weight is not enough to make the plates. That's why I reinforced it with some metal plates. So you can buy these at the hardware store for $1 each. For that, because I wanted to make this as cool looking as possible, I used my router to take out the complete surface of the metal plates so they would be nice and flush with the surface. You can do this with a router. The first thing I did this with was with a chisel, and I think this also turns out pretty cool, but it leaves, it's always going to be a little bit rougher unless you're really good at woodworking, which I am not. So you can do this with a chisel. You can always just screw it directly onto the wood. I think that would work as well. Just know that it's going to protrude a little bit, but that's okay. Then you have something that is roughly the weight that you want. So the next important thing is to match the weight of the weights. So for that we're going to use our trusty scales, and we really want to replicate this as good as possible. So let's test this one out. This one is about 750, and the one that's going to match is this one here with the 2 slots cut out. So now it's 400, and we add 2 metal, another metal, and then 10 screws. That's 1, 2, 3, 4. like 10 screws. Okay. So that means that here we're going to have to take out 30 grams in order to match the 750 that we set out to get. I was very lucky and I was actually looking for these, and these metal plates weigh exactly 125 grams. So that means that if I went from 500 to 750, I only had to add 2 plates exactly, and I had this one. I went out with a router and I took out chunks underneath the plates, cut out enough, and then we're going to weigh it again to see whether or not we're matching our desired weight. Now you don't need to use a router to route this one out. The first iteration that I made was I just drilled some holes through. Like, it doesn't look as pretty as this one here, but this is as functional. Now then, if everything weighs exactly what you want, you can start the assembly, or you can give it a coat of paint. I went with the colors of the highest plates. So a 25 kilo plate is usually red, a 20 kilo plate is usually blue, and a 15 kilo plate is typically yellow. So that's why I chose the same colors. Just I spray painted them. No big deal, but they look nice. That is really how to make change plates. The most difficult part and the most tedious part is really nailing down that weight and trying to hit that weight as good as possible by one, not taking too much material away from the wood, and on the other hand, adding enough weight with the metal plates to just hit that number. So yeah, there you have it, guys. Change plates. I made these, so 1, 2, 3, 4, I would say for 15 euros and some scrap plywood, you can make this. Obviously you need the tools as well, but material costs is very, very cheap, and you can have nice plates that you can brag about, because we all make DIY stuff just to brag about it, right? Okay, so thank you so much, Coop, for letting me make this video, because if you hadn't bought all the plates, I wouldn't be able to make them. I would just bought them, but hey, it is what it is. So thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you learned something. And if you did, please let me know in the comments down below. Let me also know if you would have done it differently, because I am very curious to see how your guys' brain work. So again, thank you so much for watching. I guess I'll be seeing you all in the next video. Bye!